Hi, this is Eric with Smarter Water, and welcome to the installation guide for your new whole house water softener consisting of a water softener, salt tank, and sediment pre-filter.
Let's take a moment to review all of the parts included in your installation kit. Here we have the filter housing, the sediment filter insert, a seal ring with a grease packet, a spinner wrench, a mounting bracket with screws, Teflon tape for the adapters, two 1-inch male adapters, a bypass valve, two elbow adapters, two 1-inch flexible connectors, and a brine line. Step 1. Let's unscrew the filter housing. You can use the spinner wrench for grip to help take off the lid. Now grab the seal ring and apply the grease to the ring. Make sure to evenly distribute the grease before placing it into the groove. Now firmly push the ring into the groove to ensure a proper seal. You can now grab your filter and place it inside of the filter housing. Again, using the spinner wrench, you can now screw the lid back on and get ready for the next step. As you can see, there's two flow connections at the top. Let's grab those two male adapters and apply the Teflon tape to each set of threads. I found the easiest way to do this is by holding the tape in one hand and rolling the adapter towards me until all the threads are covered. Then, simply rip the tape and move on to the next thread. Once you've taped both adapters, you can now screw them into both sides of the filter housing. Make sure to firmly screw each adapter into the connection to ensure a strong seal. You need to use a wrench at the end to ensure the adapter is completely screwed in. Now take the mounting bracket and place it on top of the filter housing. Line up the holes and place a washer and screw in each hole. I am adding all 4 screws to hold it in place before using a socket wrench to do the rest of the work. Do not use a power tool for this step, as you may over-tighten and strip the threads. Make sure each screw is tightly in place. For the next step, we are using a stud finder to locate the exact mounting point. The filter does have some weight, so we want to make sure the mount is secure. Now we're going to drill the first hole and use the first screw. Leave a little wiggle room so you can adjust the positioning with a level. You want to make sure the mount is straight so the filter works properly. Once you've leveled the mount, mark your holes and pre-drill for the next screws. If you encounter an area with no stud, use a drywall anchor before drilling in the screw. Make sure that the drywall anchor is properly fitted for the screws you are using. Once the anchors are set, you can move the mounting bracket back into place and finish drilling in the screws. It is recommended that at least 2 of these screws are drilled into studs, otherwise your mount may not be secure. For the next step, we are going to connect the bypass valve to the head unit. Once both threads are fully screwed on, it's time to attach a flex connector to the outflow connection on the filter housing. Then, take the other end of the flex connector and screw it into the inflow connection on the head unit. Now take the second flex connector and screw it into the outflow connection on the head unit. Next up is the salt tank. Take off the lid and grab the guide and brine line. Look over the guide as needed. Take the brine line and locate the hole near the top of the container. Insert the line and firmly push it into the connector. You can shorten the brine line as needed to fit your system. Once at your desired length, remove the clip on the side of the head unit and firmly insert the brine line into the connection. Then reattach the clip. On the other side of the head unit, you'll see the drain connection. Go ahead and wrap the threads with some Teflon tape. Both CPVC and PVC connectors can work here, so you can decide which works best for you. Now unpack the power supply and locate the insert underneath the letter P and plug it in. Now connect to an outlet and your unit should power on. For the last step in the setup process, we are going to connect to the unit through the Legacy View app on your smartphone. Enable your Bluetooth and download the app. Tap through the walkthrough steps. Once inside the app, tap where it says Metered Softener. It may prompt a firmware update. You can also manually click the scan button at the bottom of the screen to find it. Tap on Metered Softener again. You should now be connected and able to adjust the system settings for your unit. Click on the time setting to sync the unit to the correct time. Click on water hardness and set this value to 20. You can also change the time that the unit will regenerate. It's recommended to set this time during the night. We have chosen 1 a.m. Now click the drop-down menu in the top left corner and click on Advanced Settings. Here you can adjust the resin grains capacity, which we have set to 48,000. Lastly, set the regeneration override to 14 days. Your settings are now complete, and the system is ready for startup.